Paper was like gold in medieval times.
Oh, not tobacco, sugar.
That everything we thought we knew about the world might turn out to be completely wrong.
Bit near.
We danced on the night we were wed. We vowed our true love. The word wasn't said. The world was in bloom. There were stars in the skies, except
I just cut all my hair off when I changed full time because I didn't need it anymore. It had a few bald spots, did John, which meant it wasn't really suitable for Joanne's. I've always worn wigs, so as soon as John wasn't needed, off came the hair.
I love the feel of the shaven head. It's all smooth and soft.
I use more razor blades as Joanne than I ever did as John. Then you look at yourself in the mirror before you go out the door just to check everything and you think, wow, is that really me? Yeah, what a change.
Oh, and she's going out somewhere. I mean going out, not just going to work. And she's going out somewhere. Oh, she's dreadful. every mirror in the house. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Get out of the way.
I don't say that.
Oh, you do. You do.
That sweet moment sublime, we'd find that our love is unaltered by time.
Joanne? When I first met him, I remember talking to my friend and telling her that I'd met this man and there was something special about him and something very different because he didn't perceive the world in the way that I normally expected men to perceive the world. He didn't respond in the way that I expected men to respond. He understood and empathised with things in a very feminine way. So right from the beginning, my man wasn't all man, if you see what I mean. There was something feminine in his mind, in the way he behaved.
Do you want to stay extra night this year? We've been going out for a week or two.
3 days.
Okay, 3 days. And we're back in Naomi's room for the first time at night. And the inevitable's on the cards. Hopefully on the cards. And I don't know what made me do it, but there's this lovely nightie negligee hanging on the back of Naomi's door. I just asked if I could put them on. And to my surprise, she said yes. And that's how I told her.
That was amazing trust. I lived in a college full of women. All I needed to do was open the door and yell, and I would have destroyed this man. I was just knocked out by the trust that this person was putting in me. And that finally clinched it, that somebody who trusts you that much and is that honest is never ever going to hurt you purposely. I was very concerned that he would, when he saw my face and my reaction, that he would see my distaste, which wouldn't in fact be for him, but for the things he was wearing, the particular things. But when I turned round, I was quite surprised because he looked really nice. I mean, okay, he looked like a bloke, but he just looked very, very attractive.
Because a man's face is usually much more heavier than a woman's, they're inclined to put on very heavy makeup. And usually it's the wrong thing to do because it draws attention to your face. The best thing is to have it just strong enough to cover up the shadow line and not too heavy that it looks like overmade mutton. And just having the right amount of finish colour to make it look natural.
Did your wife wear much makeup?
No. Only when we went out somewhere special. So she was never able to show me how to do makeup because she never really had any skills. So most of my skills with makeup came long after she had died. And I used to find the need to make up and go out, and people would stare because your makeup was too strong. And then you come back and you start working again and try to make it more natural looking. Talk to other people, see how they did it. Until finally you get it right. about 3 years for me to finally feel confident enough, and I'm still learning. And that's now going on for 8 years, and I'm still learning. That was my other self. That was him, Terry. Yes, it's hard when you look back and see the image that you did have and try to remember what you are now. I've got no regrets, none at all. He had his life, he had a full life. I've now got mine, but is he my alter ego or am I his alter ego? I think that's the interesting point.
I find when I put a dress on, my mind becomes uncluttered because I'm able to virtually forget all the things that's bothering Jimmy, right? And there's nothing bothering Jenny.
I was putting some underwear, clothes away, and I went into Jim's drawer and there was this underwear, this lady's underwear. And it wasn't mine. And I wondered who, what the hell it was, really. I knew it wasn't another woman. These weren't pretty frilly things. These were very plain and ordinary. It's not the kind of underwear that I would have worn, and certainly not the underwear that anybody I knew would wear. I mean, here we've got this great big chunky Scottish engineer with all this experience of war and going to war and being a soldier and then going around the world and building all these places, and he's into women's underwear. I can't remember whether it was days or weeks until the time come when I just confronted him and I said, "What are these?" And he was stunned.
I was totally gobsmacked. I couldn't say anything. Didn't know what to say. And I thought, this is it. She's off. I explained to her that on occasion I wore them for comfort, which it was true, because that's why they were worn, not for any sexual reasons, for comfort, for peace of mind. And I explained this to Di, but I think she was really in more of a shock mode than I was. And I don't think it quite sunk in, did it, at that time. And as Di say, time passed and we talked about it, laughed about it and what have you, and cried about it, of course. And I say from there on in, it was a matter of, well, we were both fighting. We were both fighting ourselves, not each other, but fighting ourselves. I mean, I knew I couldn't stop it. I knew I had a need to do it, but how can I get that over to another person? That is a difficult thing.
By then he was out of work. He hadn't had a job for 18 months and our savings were dwindling, and it just a battle all the time. I wanted him to get a job. I wouldn't let him dress, so he drank. So I drank to keep him company. And I think we just drank ourselves silly.
I told her that the level to which I dress, which at that time was normally some lingerie, I said that I would try and keep it, just at that level. I didn't know whether this pleased Di or she was saying to herself, well, good God, I don't want to see this big fella running about in negligees and things, because finally she was the one who turned around and said, well, if you're going to do it right, if you're going to do it, I'm going to make sure you do it properly. God's
be
sake,
male.
Di, you can't put on a
You
chiffon
know.
dress and be called George.
I know.
They put a dress on, they can call me Jimmy, they can call me what the hell they want, I don't really care.
Really good.
Oh, Angus.
The men are just having the confidence now to go out and show more freedom of choice. Hello. Oh, hello, Eleanor.
I've been getting the country out of the depression.
Oh, is that really? Do you want a drink, dear?
Yes, please.
Would you like to help yourself?
Oh, I've got to go again. In a minute.
Right. When you first came out was a bit of a traumatic time for you, if I remember.
I rang up a group in London years ago, and I actually couldn't believe it when I walked in, because there was 8 men dressed as women in the same room as me. It's dead weird, because I'd always been on my own when I'd done it and never met anyone else to talk about it. And that was really a great feeling to meet others and come out. And I was on a high. I went manic. I couldn't sleep. I was in anything with life. It was like a musical. My life was like a musical for 24 hours.
Tamara.
I had a bit of a breakdown. That's how it came out to my family at first.
You get depressed, don't you? It does make you depressed.
Yeah,
in a mild sort of way.
Guilty, don't you?
Until you can recognise what actually is wrong with you, or right, or to get it sorted. That's basically.
Right. On reflection, I've come out twice.
Yes.
First time was during the war, in the blackout, when you couldn't be seen. I went out. I used to go out in my mother's clothes at night and my father's tin hat. He always insisted when I went out that I wore a tin hat, because invariably there would be an air raid and shrapnel would be belting around all over the place. So I used to do that once or twice a week.
When we go out, we make a special effort to look very, very smart. Usually a lot smarter than the average woman that goes out and around.
Yeah.
So we're drawing attention to ourselves. But then when we get it, we're not always sure how to deal with it, are we?
Well, Janet and I have a big advantage over the rest of you. We're old, and people don't look at us.
People don't look at us until you get to our age. You were saying there, Emma, that you've come out fairly recently.
That's right. It's only been the last year that we started to
Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know, it's raining violets.
I just set one rule when she wanted to go out. She could do whatever she wanted at home. She could experiment and play with clothes and makeup. But when we went outside the door, the rule was, whatever you do, you will not embarrass me. And the things that would embarrass me were also things that would, if she was embarrassed, I would be embarrassed for her, that sort of thing. I've been married twice before. I've got 5 daughters. The youngest one stayed with her daddy and his mother. And I lost contact with her. The other 4 daughters, they're all grown up. They've got families of their own, children of their own. Unfortunately, I don't have any contact with them.
I have relations who live abroad who are still in touch. And on one occasion, they went to visit my parents, and all their relations turned up. And it wasn't until they were on the plane back to Australia that they realised, well, hang on a minute, what happened to John? No mention of me, you know, just written out the family history as a non-person. It's quite sad.
There he is. There's a rain coming behind him. Peaceful, aren't they?
We are not prepared to change our lives. We have to live our lives for us, and they have to live their lives for them. All we can do is make sure that we're always available. If they want to contact us, we're available. and just hope that they will eventually learn that cross-dressers don't have horns coming out of their heads. They're not evil people. They don't bite the heads off babies, you know. I have my memories of my children, and I just have to hold on to those. You know, it hurts sometimes. Yeah. And I feel sad for them as well. To lose your family is a big cost. You know, it's a big price to pay.
Trying to decide what to wear tomorrow. I wondered about nice trouser suit, Old Faithful.
It's nice and it's special in a colour, but if you're going to go somewhere as special as this, get something that's really... I mean, you can go way OTT here if you want.
This is the Cerisi pink one.
Why do you want short ones? I thought you would have wanted a nice long gown. And...
Well...
Well, that one, you can really play with that and dress up nice. And pull that one back. Get that one out. If you've got the chance here, you can... I mean, they're going to do all this work for you. They're going to dress you up, make you up, take special photographs. You don't just want to look like you ordinary every day, as if you've just gone out somewhere nice. You can really go to town. Give them something to play with, to work on.
Oh, so it's my wedding dress.
Yeah. Well, I'll put that one to the back and I'll think about it. Joanne loves big frocks. She loves really over-the-top feminine things. Thankfully, she never ever wanted mini skirts and black fishnet stocking.
I knew I wasn't homosexual, and yet I had this very strong feelings to wear girls' clothes. Part of my problem was I didn't know as a young man whether I wanted to wear their knickers or get into them, because my sexual orientation was then and still is, even now, very heterosexual male. I'm not sure if I was engaged at this point. I think I might well have been engaged then. I did tell my wife when I was engaged to her that I wanted to wear women's clothing, but I didn't understand too much about it then. That was in 1957. Her reaction when I told her was one of unconcern, I suppose. She wasn't particularly bothered by it. It was something I didn't need to do every day or every week or every month. It was just something I did occasionally. This is when her oldest son, Keith, he was a couple of months old. There he is, sitting with Fran in the snow, wearing my cap. He's fabulous. That's me, holding him. And I thought it's only right that I should try to get rid of this, whatever it was. I went to see a doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh, you're a transvestite." The first time I'd ever come across the word. There wasn't anybody around in those days you could turn to, so when I asked if there was a cure, he said, well, there was this doctor that was doing a new treatment of aversion therapy. So I agreed to go and see him. What it meant was that I'd go to his clinic up in Hammersmith, and I'd dress up in women's clothes. He'd give me an injection, and then for 40 minutes I'd be violently sick. Then him and another doctor would come into the room and tell me how disgusting I was, and how stupid I looked, and how awful I was. And that was supposed to cure me. Well, after 9 months, I couldn't take much more, so I told everybody I was cured. I wasn't. But they all believed me because they wanted to. And for 7 years, I kept it hidden away. I still dressed up occasionally. I couldn't stop doing it. And I suppose when my wife found out 7 years later, when our children were growing up, then I wasn't really cured. I don't think she was ever able to come to terms with that side of my life. So that was always a little bone of contention between us for the rest of our marriage. Still, that's life, I suppose. Despite the difficulties in our marriage, I really loved her. I really did.
Dad? Can I have a drink, please? Have a drink, please.
£1.50 to get out. Drink of what?
Milk, please.
Suppose I got to get it, do I? All right. Want some biscuits then?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Chocolate ones.
Chocolate ones.
Chance.
What do you think of Steph, Marianne?
She's alright, actually.
What do your friends say?
What about...
£200, please.
What about my dad?
Yeah.
They all say stand the tram and everything. Stand the tram with the transit van. And stand the man, the one that can. I just ignore it.
We sat down and talked to the children and told them that Dad wears dresses. Marianne wanted to see Dad dressed up. Stephanie didn't actually have a name at this time, she was just a woman. So Steph went and dressed up for them. You explained that evening.
I went upstairs and got changed. The children were sitting in the front room with Patsy. And I came downstairs, and as far as I got was a door of the living room. The nerves just took over, so I couldn't walk in. So I went into the kitchen, called Patsy through. I said, I can't walk in there. And Patsy suggested, well, I'll put him in the downstairs bedroom, and you can go into the living room, then I'll bring the kids in, which we did. And at first, the kids were a bit shy to come in, but they were coming and walked in, and they were quite surprised on what they're seeing. You know, they just took to Stephanie, didn't they?
Yeah. My children are being brought up in a family where Dad is a cross-dresser and he's happier that way. If he'd have carried on as Stan,
Stephen,
he'd probably be dead by now.
who's winning? Don't tell me.
A couple of attempts to take his life because he could not cope with Stan. He constantly saw Stan as a failure because he didn't do enough for his children or for me. Stephanie, she's full of life. She wants to take the children out. She wants to go and get a job. She wants to get up in the morning.
Noticed you getting a few looks today.
Wow.
When we first decided to go out together, me and Steph, it was nerve-wracking.
But I'm afraid you're too big for him, Marianne.
Put all the Christmas decorations, Maz.
Which was a very big step, going into a big town. Possibility of meeting someone we knew that would recognise me, if not Steph. An hour into getting out of the car, we were totally relaxed, even though people had read Steph. You know, you always get the one that will stop and stare. It's quite hurtful at first, for the cross-dresser mainly. No cross-dresser likes to be ridiculed.
I feel a bit embarrassed when people look at me or laugh at me. But I thought they've got their views and points. They can keep them if they want, but as long as they don't hurt or upset me.
Okay, Maz.
Hey?
It's a bit boring shopping.
My, people like that, you just ignore them, sweetheart. You've got petty little minds.
There's bound to be people out there that think we're doing a bad thing. We've got children, fathers walking around the streets in a dress. But they need to really understand that this is not, I want to do this. It's, I need to do this. This is part of Stan's makeup.
Well, that'd suit you, Steph.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm not in that kind of thing.
You're not that sort of girl?
No.
Is that right?
What's that? Where is it?
I have no idea. Well, that's obviously straps. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, the mind boggles.
I'm not going to take this alyssum out, you know, because it's going to dry out all this bed. It's here to keep the moisture in. It's pretty dry now. But I'll get all these... I think I'll cut that back and see if there's a new growth on it. I don't know why I call her a person, because she's not separate to Jimmy, but she's a personality which I felt was going to come between us. And it was only when I allowed her to emerge and show herself, and I confronted her, because basically that's what I was doing. I was confronting this person who I felt very threatened by. I felt that she was going to threaten our relationship, that she was competing with me, that she may be more important to Jim than I was. And it took all that time to confront her, but when I did, it took another year or two for her to find her place and to follow the rules. But once she did that, she's not a problem now. I don't mind her now. She has to come out and she helps Jim, and that's the important thing. You know, Jimmy protects Jenny all the time, but Jenny's quite vulnerable, isn't she?
Any cross-dresser
Quite shy,
is quite
isn't
vulnerable.
she? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I know there's a wide range of behaviour available to all cross-dressers, but you fit very tightly into this quite collected and quite disciplined area where you think Jenny should be a woman to be admired, but not an over-expressive or extrovert woman. You think, you know, she seems to be quite disciplined.
When you say Jenny is not an extrovert, right? Jenny is Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I can't see it being any more extrovert. A man putting a dress on.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Mind the stairs now. Come on through. Hi, come on, let me take those for you.
Thanks very much.
Right, so you want to take a seat on the sofa there. Now, who's Joanne and who's Naomi?
I'm Joanne.
Hello.
I'm Naomi.
Hi, pleased to meet you. Hello, darling. Take a seat then on the sofa, girls, and I'll just pop your frocks down here for a minute. They're very lovely, aren't they? Right. Woo. Okay. Come on, set. Oh, you look marvellous. You look gorgeous. In the middle of the set. Lovely. About there. Great, okay. Have you done this sort of thing before?
No.
Right, okay, well now you've seen the sort of things that we can do. We'll go downstairs and get started. All right, so if you'd like to follow me, careful on the stairs with your heels, ladies. Do you want me to take anything? Shall I take these? We'll come back for your frocks in a minute, all right? Okay.
I knew a long time before John said things to me that actually it wasn't going to stop at just wearing pretty underwear and things. I knew that one day we were going to get to the point when he was going to tell me that actually the truth of the matter is I'm really a transsexual. But I couldn't say that to him because I didn't want to make him feel that he was being pushed along the way or what have you.
I know this is a male body, but I'm now taking, hormone therapy to change it. And yes, I'm looking for surgery.
There we go. Now let's just pop your arms in there. That's great. You covered? All right. I had someone else in who had started taking the hormones and then stopped for, reasons better known to themselves. That he said it made him feel like a pregnant woman, or how he imagined a pregnant woman would feel. I don't quite know how he knew how we feel in that state,
Sorry. Don't mind, do you, dear?
Go ahead.
All in a day's work.
The longer I've been living this way, the
Mhm.
happier you get, the more contented you get.
Really? Even with the hormones, you don't get the mood swings or anything?
Because you're contented in yourself, you can let all your emotions out.
Mm.
You can cry when you're sad, you can laugh when you're happy.
Can you really not do that as a man?
I didn't.
Don't mind me asking you that, do you?
I think you'd have to ask a real man, to be honest, but I didn't.
Okay. Chin down a little bit. Lovely, nice to the camera. Lovely. Look at those legs. Oh, marvellous. Okay.
Right. Now.
Gorgeous.
So, are you ready?
Yep.
Let's turn you around. Have a little trunk into the side there. Nice wig.
I can get used to this.
Hold it there. That's beautiful. Nice big smile. Lovely. Chin round towards the light a little bit. Eyes to about here. Nice to the camera. Eyes to the camera, both of you. Lovely. Okay, big smiles. Great. Fantastic. Relax your eyebrows. Great. Fantastic. Nice big smiles.
Oh, they're great. I can't get over what we look like without glasses on. No, that sounds stupid.
But see how strong the eyes are. Yeah. You've both got the same colour eyes, which is lovely.
Yeah. I really like that one. Yeah. That one we both look really moody.
Not moody, sexy.
Yes.
I couldn't be what I am without knowing support and help for all those years. But knowing that actually pursuing that and changing could actually lose me knowing me. So you have this awful dilemma here that you got to follow your what you are, but you don't want to lose who you're with. So I'm extremely lucky that as I've changed, Naomi's changed with me. That's a real sort of fluky coincidence. So that was my worry.
What attracted me to Stan was the masculinity. He was very masculine, tall. I looked at him as a protector, I think.
Where's Jamie? Where's Jamie?
Seeing the feminine side come out was very hard. But now I'm used to the feminine side. I prefer Stephanie. She's much better character. She can deal with things a lot calmer than Stan. I can no longer relate to Stan. Quite sad at the moment because it brings back memories of before the cross-dressing came out. Stan to me is not a whole person anymore. He's certainly not the man I married. As Stan, he's really aggressive. His actions are much quicker. I can't communicate with him as I can Steph because he'll argue back. Oh my God, if Rory's on the scene, he will hit the roof in the end.
Yeah, use this.
Because Rory will wind him up worse than ever. I didn't get on with Rory.
Taking off.
Has it got a pin to go for it?
Yes, it's a pin.
I think.
Just get it.
It's not ratting.
Like I said, take that one off.
Do you feel under stress at the minute then?
Oh yeah, tensed up. More bloody tensed up.
Or go and get washed and changed.
If I couldn't be Stephanie, there's only two choices that I would have. And if the first choice is taken away from me, my skirts and my makeup and etc.
Feel this one tingling now.
The next choice would be I would be 6 foot under.
When we bring it out.
Our relationship now is much stronger than it's ever been.
How often do you do your nails then yourself?
2 or 3 times a week I'd redo them.
I feel that I've fallen in love all over again, but with Stephanie.
No.
We have a sexual relationship. I could say that's better than before as well.
Yeah.
We're fully open with each other. We've no more secrets in the marriage.
I found the false ones are a bit too small, slim for mine.
Yeah, so what they do, they'll actually hold them around your actual nail.
Mm.
Where did you want to go?
I think start with Selfridges, get the material for Rotherham.
Hiya!
What do you go for most? Skirts or
Skirts,
skirts?
mostly. But if I'm going out like for a dinner, well, yeah, a dress. Oh, I've got myself a 1960s skirt.
Oh, yeah.
Rock and roll skirt, even with a petticoat.
I've got one of them upstairs.
It brings it right out here. It's lovely. It's black with white spots.
You're taking my skirt, I hope.
I've got plenty of my own, thank you.
He said to me, would you look at me dress, Mum? And I said, all right. And I sat on the chair and I was very, very frightened. I didn't know what to think, what to do. But anyway, he got dressed and then Pat came in front of him downstairs, you know. And I looked at him and, I don't know, my heart went somewhere else for a little while. And he came in and sat down and sat to talk to me. I thought, well, it's not different. It's just I've got got trousers on. He's got a skirt on.
You must feel damp when you come out.
I did blame myself, yeah. As time's gone on, and I've met others like him, I realise it isn't anything to do with me, you know. He's Stanley. It's just something that's happened to him that's made him this way, and I don't see why people should take a dislike just because he wants to wear a skirt.
I should be all right.
Yeah, necklace.
Yeah. Should I take it off?
No, I think it'll be okay.
All right.
It's up to you.
Ready then?
Yeah, ready.
Someone's just gone over the
Danny, Stanley, instead of going walking, it's easy to push your foot forward, look. That's him. Slide, instead of walking, slide.
I'm
look.
trying to, but going backwards.
When I go out with him, I usually manage to call him Steph, but to me, he's Stan. I'll go out to the side a little bit. I just love him to bits, and he's my Stan. Nice son. But the funny thing was, when I was having him, I craved a little girl. Of course, I got him. I wouldn't have swapped him for all the girls in the world. That's right. Don't walk, slide.
To go back.
I think you're coming out of your house in the winter.
Right, we've got to decide on what we're taking to Rotherham, remembering, of course, that the weather up there might be a bit different from down here.
Or do you want your woolly dressy gown? Oh, look at those shoes!
Stop your fussing, woman.
Well, you've got so many of them. Yeah, I think you need to take this because you're always cold, aren't you?
Bloody freeze.
When were you thinking of wearing that?
When I'm going out to service a car.
No, I mean in the evening or in the day.
Well, in the evening.
I was going to say it'd be a bit much for the day, but yeah, if you want. So which one are you going to wear Saturday night and which one are you going to wear Friday
Oh,
night?
I'll make my mind up when we get there. Shove it down there anyway.
All right then, perhaps we better freshen this up as well. Do you want to wash it through?
Start low heels.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Oh yeah, I can't have you.
Well,
moaning
when you're
back
drunk
for-
at the bar, you've
Oh,
less
stop.
distance to fall, you see. Angus has had a go at them.
Look at these. That's right, blame Angus.
Let's see now. Oh yeah, there's the neighbour to that one.
Yeah.
That'll.
Come on, you're
they'll,
not having
They'll
them.
go
No.
with something.
Bye.
Bye.
Good evening, ladies and one or two gentlemen. This is to welcome you to our special social weekend at the Swallow Hotel in Rotherham. We've got over 200 cross-dressers here with their partners, some of their families, but that's only a small fraction of the cross-dressers out there. So in coming here, they do get that chance to express that side of their personality in such a positive way with all these people around, and it really is a good way.
Cold, slow.
Some sort of notification, telephone from the desk.
I feel that when I'm with Jenny on these occasions, it feels right. It's nice to be here with Jim, when he is Jim, but when he's Jenny, then we're all more, it's more of a bonding thing.
I feel like a proper twat. I really do. I mean, under no circumstances can I ever expect anyone to accept me walking the street as a woman, you know. Though the thing is, amongst people of the same ilk, you can be accepted.
Ladies, can I have your attention, please? Can I have the contestants for the Miss Elegance parade?
Evening, ladies. It's my job to introduce all these ladies behind here to you, and they're very nice ladies they are too. You should see some of these frocks, they're beautiful. These are ladies that want you to judge them and look at them as ladies. We're looking for elegance. Number one is Anne-Marie. Those are our contestants for this evening. I hope you remember that you're not here to judge them as a beauty competition. We want you to look at them as ladies, please. Well, the judges have finished their deliberating and they've picked 5 ladies for us. Maria, speechless. I've never known this before.
Yeah, more or less.
Stephanie's a married lady. How many children have you got, Stephanie?
4 children.
4? I'm a little bit embarrassed now. Number 8, Joanne. Joanne's married to me and I love her very much. Thank you, Joanne. I don't think I ought to talk to you.
One I made it tomorrow. That was what, sorry?
Number 11 looks like...
Steph had a lovely... Really
The judges have finally made their decision, so can I have a big hand, please, for Ed Schofield? He's not the winner. He's not the winner. He's going to tell us who the winner is.
I'm very pleased to announce that the winner of Miss Elegance 1995 is number 11, Tamara.
You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me want to. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. You made me happy sometime. You made me glad.